Hey my loves, how are you? So today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm going to show you my tarot and oracle collection. So I'm actually going to do a big decluttering, and part of the reason why I'm filming this is because it's going to make me be a little bit more ruthless and get rid of a few more so that I've still got a good collection, but ones that I actually use quite often or for specific things. But I would love for you, especially if you've seen a few of my tarot picker cards before, have a guess at how many I have and we'll do a count up at the end. But I think for some of us it's kind of a necessary rite of passage kind of thing where you go through a phase, especially when you're new to tarot, and collect and want them all, as well as with oracle as well. And then at some point it kind of just gets too much and you forget what ones you've got. You can't find the ones that you're looking for, or you just use the same like 4 all the time. And you kind of realign with the fact that the tarot cards or the oracle cards, they're just the tool. So you can do an amazing reading and get the same messages with one deck as you would with 5 or more. At the end of the day, they are just how we channel the messages. So before I blab on too much, let's get into it. I'll show you some cards from different decks that I'm keeping and ones that I'm getting rid of. Won't go into every single deck because that would take all day. This is still probably going to take a while, so maybe get a drink or something, but I'll talk through a bit about why I'm getting rid of certain decks and things like that. So I don't know, hopefully it's interesting. We'll see. So this one is a new one that I've got, the Body Language Tarot, and it is amazing. It's no longer available. So I don't want to show you too many of the cards because I feel like that's mean. But it is an absolutely amazing deck. It's very unique. If you can get your hands on this one, I highly recommend it. I've done some amazing readings with this one. This one I haven't played with that much. I think it's the only black and white tarot deck that I've got. Beautiful cards, but I need to give it a bit more time. Yeah, this is still in order, like I haven't used this deck yet, and that's why I need to have this clear out so I can give new decks the attention they deserve. And then someone else can get good use out of the decks that I pass along to someone else. And I'll probably sell some secondhand, and others I'll just give away. This deck is absolutely amazing. So the This Might Hurt Tarot deck and the Modern Witch, they are quite similar themed. I do prefer this one slightly, but I'll definitely be keeping both of them. Let me just find... So just to show you, this is the This Might Hurt deck and this is the Modern Witch. And then with the Chariot, this is This Might Hurt and Modern Witch. So very similar styles, but they're both amazing. They do have different feels to them. The Modern Witch isn't gilded, whereas the This Might Hurt, I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, but it has this black pearl edging to it. I do believe there's 2 different types of finishes you can get on this one, but this one does come at a higher price point. This one I think I'm gonna have to pass along to someone. It's absolutely stunning. It is a beautiful deck, and the guidebook you buy separately, and I think I will keep the guidebook because it has all the artwork in it, as well as a lot of valuable information. But I hardly ever reach for this one. I mean, the backs are incredible as well. You can see that. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. The Justice card. He's kind of just throwing his hands up in the air like it'll be what it'll be. So I do love this deck, and I nearly got rid of it last time, if not the last 2 times that I've had a little bit of a cull out, and I haven't used it since then. So I think it's time, and I held on to it because as well, it's one from overseas, so I had to pay a lot for shipping and everything. I'm here in New Zealand, so most indie decks are pretty expensive to get them shipped here. But then I haven't used it, so it's such a shame because it's such a cool deck. I just don't reach for it. Now this is one of my favorites, which I don't use all that often, but it's such a beautiful deck, the Afro Goddess. I'll just show you the backs of them, if I can get it. You can kind of see it there with the world map. These cards are so cool. They've got the gold edging. So that one I'm definitely keeping. The guidebook is really good with this one as well. And then we have this one, which came in a little tuck box, and I did trim these cards thinking that that would make me use them more. This is the Next World Tarot, and you can now actually get a mini version of this, and the artwork is stunning, but I just don't reach for it. But look at that artwork. So I'm not sure what I'll do with this one. I don't know, I've got a friend that I think might like this, so I might see if she wants it. But this is good. We've now got 2 that we're getting rid of. Or should I say, allowing other people to get the use out of them. Okay, now the Muse, the artwork is stunning. And I've got 2 other decks by Chris Ann, which I use all the time. But I don't reach for this one. I'm not sure what it is. I think the artwork is stunning, and check out the edging on this. It's so beautiful. That Empress card. But it was this deck and the Wild Messengers one that last time I did a clear out I thought about getting rid of, and then I didn't, and I haven't used either of them since then, so maybe it is time. Because also I have my eye on the Vibra Tarot, which is a similar art style, still very different, but I think that one speaks to me a little bit more. I can intuitively read that one and connect to it a little bit more. And that's why we have so many different kinds of decks out there, because different things speak to different people. And I feel like to justify buying the other one to myself, I have to pass this one on. And then this one, the Fae and the Ferns Tarot. This is another indie deck that I got off Etsy. It is beautiful. I thought I would use it all the time and like inner child readings and everything because it's so cute. But I got this in the, I'm not sure what it's called, almost holographic. I don't know how well it's going to show up. You can kind of see the rainbow colors on it there, but the trouble is that for filming with lights on, it's really hard to actually see the images. I found that with another oracle deck that I've got as well. But it's the first, this was the first deck that I had that has this finish on it, and you could choose to have it matte, but I thought this was really pretty, and it is in person, but for filming it's just not ideal. And I was a little bit disappointed with the cardstock of this for what I paid for it. Again, with the finish on here, I paid extra for that, but I held on to it because I paid so much for it. I didn't want to accept the loss kind of thing, because if I sell this one, I won't get back anything close to what I paid for it. I'd be lucky to cover the shipping. But it's just sitting in the back of one of these drawers, and someone out there could really connect to it. Then we have the Moonchild, which I'll be keeping, and the Starchild Tarot. These are both amazing. I use these all the time. I'm sure you guys are familiar with those decks. Then we have the Journey of the Sacred Bee, which is one that I got quite recently actually. I did a review of it if you want to check that out. It is gorgeous. I'm on the fence about this one. The backs are one of the most beautiful backs to a deck that I've ever seen, but it doesn't show up well on camera either, which for personal readings and reading for yourself, obviously not an issue. The beautiful blue edging as well. I love this card. There are certain cards that I really love, so I think we're going to start a maybe pile. because as beautiful as it is that kind of collage-y style, which is very similar to the Muse Tarot and the Vibra Tarot, which I think I will get. I think I'm learning to appreciate the artwork without needing to own it for myself, unless I connect to it. So I'm unsure on that one. Now this deck a friend gave me, and I don't use it a whole lot. The backs of it are really cool, but the guidebook that comes with this is amazing. This is the Modern Seer Tarot, and check out the backs on that. It's so cool. I love it. And then it's this beautiful, artistic, kind of simple designs with this line work. I prefer more symbolism because that helps me intuitively read, but it is cool to throw this deck in the mix every now and again. And that guidebook is amazing. Then the Vagabond Wild Tarot. I've just started using this quite a lot. Because my collection is so big, I hadn't given it the time that it deserved, really. This has the beautiful silver edging, which is kind of holographic as well, or rainbowy. And then these beautiful backs with the moon. So cool. I love this style. I have quite a few of this creator's decks. It's so cool. Beautiful coloring. Really easy to read with. This is the second edition. So that is a definite keeping, as is the Friends Tarot card. I've got a review and unboxing of that one up on my channel if you want to check that out. This is one of the most beautiful decks that I own. This is the Weaver Tarot by Threads of Fate. Oops. I don't use it as much as I thought it would. This was one of the first decks that I got before I really knew what kind of decks I found easiest to read with. This one is still beautiful. This is the Journeyer edition. And it does come with a card, I'm not entirely sure where I've put it, that tells you what the different symbolism that they use is. So that is cool, but it means you've either got to reference that or memorize the symbols that they use as to what their meanings are. But the guidebook is really good as well. That is the back of them, if I didn't show you that. And I love the oracle that they've done as well. And then Bad Bitches Tarot, that's a really cool one, which I haven't used a whole lot, but hopefully I will start to. Animal Totem Tarot is a really cool one as well. The guidebook is really impressive on this one. It's decent. And the cards are just little, but it's so cool. The Everyday Enchantment Tarot is an amazing one as well. I love reading with this one. I actually need to edge this deck, I think. It is one that I have trimmed, so they do have borders on them normally. It's all color-coded as well, but they look so good trimmed. I love this for the world. So this is a really cool one. It's really easy to read with. Definitely beginner friendly, I think. The storytelling in it is really good, whereas I would say the Weaver Tarot isn't super beginner friendly unless you want to read completely out of the guidebook. Now this one, I'm on the fence about. This is the Ostara Tarot, and some of the imagery is amazing, but first of all, I'm not in love with the box. It's got this weird divider thing that doesn't really do anything. I'm not in love with boxes that you have to have the two piles of the decks, but what really put me off this was when I got it, the gilding, it was all stuck together, so you literally had to break each card apart, and I ended up ripping a couple. Not many, but it was a pretty frustrating experience. It's just stopped me from connecting to this deck. The artwork is really cool, and this is a mainstream one. It was just a disappointing experience that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. So I don't know, I might sell it. There are some cards that I absolutely love. This one is beautiful. And then I think it's the Two of Cups, which was the card that sold me on this deck. Let me show you. It is beautiful, so that does make me want to keep it. I like as well that you do get a few different styles. I believe is it 4 artists? Created by 4 accomplished female artists, so that is really cool, but I'm just not sure. I got it a few months ago. I don't even know how that's supposed to go in there. I'm so sorry if my camera keeps going in and out of focus. I could lock the focus so that I'm in focus here where I'm standing, but then I couldn't show you the cards up close, so bear with. So we're putting that one in the maybe pile for now. If you've got it, please let me know what you think of it, especially if you've read with it. What do we have here? This one I love. This is the Cosmic Cycles Tarot, which the storytelling in this one is my favorite. I've done a review on this one. I love this one, and it's one that I want to use more. I have heard a few people say that when they shuffle with it, it scratches, but I haven't had that experience, and I shuffle like this until cards fly out, but just something to keep in mind. But I mean, just look at these cards. I absolutely love this one. And the tuck box on this one I did hate, because it was one like this, where it's just thin cardboard and you pull this out, but it was really rigid, so you almost had to rip it to open it. It was not a fun experience, and I don't want to damage the cards. And then Crystal Visions Tarot, which I keep in the bag for the same reason, and this is a beautiful deck. My camera stopped recording, so I'm not sure how many of those cards you saw, but it's a beautiful deck, and it's one that I wish I could use more, just because, as you're starting to see, my collection's quite big, so it's hard to give each deck the time it deserves, kind of thing. This is another go-to, so this is the kind of mainstream version of the Lightseers Tarot. So the Muse Tarot is the indie version of the Muse Tarot, and then this is the mainstream kind of one done through Hay House, and it doesn't have the edging. I kind of wish I'd done it the other way around, because I use this one all the time. However, this one comes with a guidebook, whereas with the indie versions you had to get the guidebooks separately. And then we have the Accurate AF Tarot, which is beautiful. I don't love the box on this, just because it doesn't have those little half circle cutouts that make it easier to open, but it's really pretty. You've probably seen this one in picker cards if you watch those. And then sometimes cards get stuck like so, and there is actually, I don't want to damage these, there is a couple spelling mistakes, but it is a beautiful deck. However, I purchased this after it had been out for a while, so it's kind of a shame that the error hadn't been fixed by then, but it is hard when you are an independent artist. I do love that it has the keywords on them. And the edging is beautiful on this one, but I don't reach for it all that much because the symbolism just doesn't speak to me. There's a couple cards that I really love, like the Hanged Man, if I can find it real quick. And I really appreciate, I mean, the Seven of Swords is pretty cool. And the Devil, I do love this card. Maybe I will keep it. Dang it. I don't use it very often though. I find it quite hard to read with. Could use it as a clarifier deck. It is beautiful. It's probably right at the end. I do love this. And I love that it's got the keywords on here, so it is beginner friendly in that sense. I just feel like I prefer the ones that have more of the storytelling going on, but it is nice to have a few different styles and everything in the collection. The Hanged one. Isn't that beautiful? Because there's another deck that I was looking at the time. I think it was called the Divine Feminine Tarot or something like that, and it had a similar image for the hanged one. And I decided on this one because the other one, it was kind of like a pip deck in the minor arcana, and that doesn't really speak to me. We'll put it in the maybe for now, but I'm probably going to hold on to it. It is beautiful to use in pick a card videos. And then Bonafide is amazing. The Trip and Wait Tarot and their Groovy one is really cool. I'd love to get more by these artists. So this is by Tarot Collectibles. There's one on there that I want, but they don't ship that specific one, or they didn't the time that I looked, to New Zealand, which is a shame. The Lumina Tarot. This deck is beautiful. This is another one. That I need to use more because it's absolutely stunning. I love anything with skulls on. The imagery in this is amazing. Really easy to read with. And it works beautifully together with her oracle. This is by Inner Hue. I think this is the second edition, or whatever the latest one is. It's not a good box for traveling, but it does the trick and it doesn't damage the cards trying to get them out. So I believe that is all of the tarot. Now this is a astrology deck, Child of the Universe, and it comes in a, I think it's a black and white or black and gold version. I got the pink version, and I wish I had got whatever the other version was, because these cards are stunning, but they just don't show up on camera. It's so frustrating because I would use them a lot more. The backs are really cute as well. The writing down the bottom is a little bit hard to read as well, just for me personally as a reader. That's the Child of the Universe card. However, this guidebook is packed with so much information. It's really, really good. There are a few spelling mistakes in here, but the amount of information you get on each card is so, so good. Really cool book. And like, this is a book. So this is Child of the Universe Pink Rose Quartz Edition, and it comes in this bag, and I think you get a rose quartz with it too. Don't quote me on that. And it's on Etsy. I believe shipping is free, or it's like included in the price. They do have a few different cool decks. I've also got the Wisdom of the Oracle here. This is a really good beginner friendly. You can do any kind of a reading with this. Highly recommend. This is one that I haven't had all that long, and I really need to start using it more because the cards are beautiful. Same with the Heart Path Oracle. I only got this I think last week, and the readings that I've done with it so far have been super accurate. Beautiful spiritual one. This is my favorite Egyptian one, Oracle deck. That's a really good one to work with. Now these two are by Crystal Banner. Really good modern decks, and they are beautiful. Simple little guidebook. Beautiful edging. The backs on these are really cool. And it's quite an in-depth oracle. You've got the houses, you've got planets, as well as obviously the star signs, keywords, lots of information. I love this deck. I want to get more of hers actually. It's just, again, shipping to New Zealand is not amazing generally. Even the inside of the box is really cool. And the Price of Love comes with a little bit more of a guidebook. There's actually quite a lot of information. It's really handy, this one. This is the back of these. This one has the gold edging. I'll show you a couple of the cards. Sorry, some are upside down. And these have the numerology as well as the keyword. These are beautiful to work with. Really accurate. Really love this deck. And I believe you can find her on Etsy, but she also has her own website. I think it's called Kaleidodope, which is that there. This one here, Connecting with the Universe, is my favorite one that I got from Make Playing Cards. I think I have a video on the decks that I got from there. I did like a little bit of a haul. Okay. And I have more Oracle than I do Tarot. So I'm not going to show you all of them, obviously. This is the Sacred Creators Oracle by Chris Ann, who did the Muse and the Lightseers Tarot. So this is the indie version. She has a like mainstream, what is it called? Mass-produced Oracle version of this deck coming out soon. I talk about it in my upcoming releases 2020-2021 video, which probably came out 1 or 2 before this video. I'll link it somewhere if I remember. And this is so good that I'm considering getting the mass-produced one of it as well, because I use it all the time. It's amazing. Really good for career readings. You can use it in other stuff as well. It's super handy. These are some good self-care, self-love, empowerment kind of decks. I don't use this one that often, but it is handy for love readings, so I think I'll hold on to it. Haven't got rid of any Oracle yet, but we shall see. This is Dream Reading Cards, and it's such a beautiful deck, but I don't reach for it. I thought I was going to use this one all the time. You know how sometimes it's not until you get it in your hands that you really get a feel for something. This is beautiful though. I mean, look at that. Wow. But I feel like, even though I really like it, someone else might get better use of it. I mean, the backs are really cool. It's got this design, and then on some cards it's this, so it's designed so that you can use it as a reference for your dreams as well as an oracle. It is really cool. I think I'll try and sell it, and then if it doesn't sell, like, I'll take it as a sign. This is one that I have to show you, The Awakened Soul. This is by Ethany, and it's so beautiful. I have her Bad Bitches Tarot. I'm not sure if I showed that one. So this is the back of them. This is the second edition. It has the silver edging. The art style of this is amazing. So it's just like if I was choosing between this one and the last one that I showed you, the Dream one, I would go for this deck every time. And I kind of feel bad that I haven't used this deck all that much. The cards are a little bit large, but the artwork, like, dude, it's incredible. So this is a definite yes. This is a 50 card Oracle deck as well, which is really good. I love the box. Okay, now this is such a cute one. It's a really good mental health one. This is by Kate Ellen. If you follow her on Instagram, if you don't, you should. She does heaps of cute posts like this, and they are really cool. However, these cards are gigantic, and the cardstock is not the best, but it's so cute. A really good way to support a friend going through a hard time. And as I said in the review that I did of this deck, I don't love this box because it's not magnetic, not one that I'd want to travel with. This is one that I actually need to start reaching for more. I keep forgetting that I have it, which sounds really, really bad. The Lantern Oracle is amazing. This is the Numinous, not sure if I'm saying that right, Astro deck. It's beautiful. You've probably seen a lot of different readers use this deck, and it's really cool. It's not the best quality, especially my box was damaged in shipping, and it had one of those plasticky, I think silver insides, which I took out. But it does come with a good guidebook, which is why I kept it after I got the Astral OG one. But I think it's time to pass it on because I just don't reach for it because I've got the other one. I was thinking that I might get rid of this one, but I think I'm going to keep it looking at it now. The cards are really cool. The back of them is really fun. Really cool. Yeah, I'll keep that one. I was thinking I'd get rid of this one, but looking through it, I think I'll hold on to it. It is good sometimes to just really go through everything and have a look at the imagery and reconnect to some old decks. Because you do just get in the habit of, how cute is that? Reaching for the same decks every time, kind of the old faithfuls. But especially with Oracle, every deck has different wisdom to bring, or it triggers something different in you. So I do like to mix them up every now and again. I already know I'm probably going to keep like every Oracle in this drawer. They're ones that I use all the time. This one here is actually the first ever Oracle I got, and it was given to me. I don't personally believe that you can't buy your own decks, or you need to be given your first one, whether Oracle or Tarot. But this is how it all started. So thank you, Sarah. So my best friend was responsible for me starting to read for myself, and then look at where we are now with all of this. And even though I don't reach for this deck all the time, it's super accurate and uplifting when I do, and it is beautiful. I love all the Lucy Cavendish ones. I want to get a few more of hers. I really like the style of them. This is the other one of hers that I have. Okay, we're starting to get like a Leaning Tower of Pisa going on. I'm unsure. This is a nice one to use in picker cards. It's super to the point. It's good in like what blessings are coming your way. But I don't really use it other than that. So I'm not sure I need it. I could use different oracles in its place. I'll put it in the maybe for now, but I think we'll get rid of that one. So I was wrong. There was one from this drawer. Now this is a really recent one that I got. It was one that I pre-ordered, so it's a pretty new release. If you follow me on Instagram, I did a card pull for those that wanted it on my stories. And it's not that it's not accurate, but it's not what I wanted it to be. Like, it's a cool deck and it's super cute. The art is kind of quirky. It's a really good one to journal with. But I just don't feel like I'm going to use it all that much, which is a shame because I've literally only just got this deck, but there's no point, that's the back of them, in hanging on to something that I'm not going to use, or I connect to something else better. Nest of Light is a really cool one. This is beautiful, and I absolutely love the back of this card deck. But I've just gotten her mermaid one. This is Karen K. And it is really cool. but I don't reach for it all that often. So I think I will sell this one. Beautiful. But I don't need to own every deck on the planet, despite what this is starting to suggest. And you know, we've got to make space so I can get more. And I do have this fairy one, which I really like, and I think this one is discontinued, so I'll hold on to this one and I'll pass that one on. Dark Mirror is a really good shadow work deck, but whew, it hits deep, so you've got to be prepared for that. This one is gorgeous, and it's got all different kinds of goddesses from all different cultures and beliefs. The back is really cool as well. And I love that it's got Lilith with empowerment, because quite often she is shown in a really negative way and her story isn't truly represented or told. She's made out to always be the bad guy. I will put this in the maybe pile. It'll probably be, again, that if it sells, great, and if it doesn't, then I'll keep it. I really don't like these boxes. I think that's what stops me from reaching for it, because I know I've then got to put it back in here. First world problems, but I should just get another bag. And I do have this goddess deck, which I reach for more often, Legendary Ladies, so I'll keep this one, and I will put this one in the getting rid of pile. We're making decisions. So this is another one from Make Playing Cards, and it's got that shiny rainbowy stuff on it, which is really cool in person, but as you can see, it makes it really hard to see on camera, so I don't use it a whole lot. But it's the first crystal oracle deck that really spoke to me, so I'm going to keep that one. I think I'm going to get rid of probably all of the Affirmative decks that I've got. I brought the whole pack to get the discount, which was one of my not so great decisions during lockdown. I've got the Creativity, At Work, Family, Love and Relationships, and the, I think, like the original. They are really cool. They're really funny, super creative. But what I've realized is when I'm in the middle of a reading, I don't like to stop and have to read a lot, which obviously you could just use this with the keyword, but I haven't reached for it. I prefer a lot of imagery. These are really funny. They're kind of sarcastic. I do love that about them. I hate to think how much I've lost on these, because I probably won't get that much for them, but we shall see. But they're just kind of taking up space. And then Grateful AF and Spiritual AF. Again, unsure if I'll keep these. These are really cute. I might keep the spiritual one and get rid of the grateful one. So then it has a more in-depth thing on the back. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep the spiritual one. And it does come with this little stand thing, which is only cardboard, but really cute. Yeah, I should use these more often. I did round these cards so they don't come like that. They're like little business card kind of things. But I just love that kind of badass energy that these cards have. And then this is the Grateful one. Really good reminders. There's some cute ones in here. There's some funny ones. And then again, it's got the text on the back. And it comes with the little stand as well. So this is by Knock Knock, as are these two. And I think I will keep these. I don't use them a whole lot, but they do have really cool quotes on them by all different people, different famous ones. I should start doing like a daily draw with these on Instagram or something. So I will keep these for now, and then if I don't use them, I'll pass them along. This is a really good one. Find Your Happy Affirmation deck. Possibly one of my favorite affirmation decks. My other one is Bad Bitch Affirmations by Gabriella Rosie. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep this one. This is the Healing Mantra Oracle, but opening that and seeing it, it does hit deep. This is a good deck. It's not like light and fluffy. So I will hold on to that one. Okay, we did it. That is everything. So I have 15 decks that I'm going to get rid of. I have 4 that are in the maybe pile, and I will do a count up. And I'm not going to make you watch that of how many I have, and then it's time to put them all away again. And all of this is the carnage I am left to deal with. So thank you for your help. It's been good to really go through it and be really honest about whether or not I use them. I've definitely still got a lot. It's probably still around 150, I think. But definitely let me know how many you originally thought there was going to be. I'm very curious. In the past, I've shown a photo of when I had my bookcase where they were all just stacked, and people were guessing like 40, 50, 60, and it was well over 100 then. So it's very interesting. It can look deceiving, but I mean, there's a lot. And I'm sure I will continue to collect, because in no way am I saying that it's bad to collect them, but at this point it was just getting a little bit overwhelming and kind of feel guilty when you're not using decks and know that someone could be getting help from it, because again, at the end of the day, these are just tools that help us heal and guide us, because life's hard. And then what I forgot to do yesterday was have a look at these, but I don't think there's any in here that I will get rid of. Wow, okay, you know when you've had a deck, especially an oracle deck, for ages and you use it all the time, and then suddenly you look at an image and you swear you've never seen that card before? It's happened to me maybe like once before. But this one was sitting on the bottom and I swear I have never seen that card before. It's so beautiful though. Perfect message. This is a Tereo Oracle deck by Raina Kotia Art. The Rebel decks are amazing to work with. They're so funny. Some of my favorites. This is a unicorn tarot. It's really cool. I'm not sure what it's called. I can't remember. But it's a little bit sweary. It's quite funny. But I forget to use it because I keep it in here, so I might put it in a bag and put it in the tarot side of things, because I keep thinking that I just have Oracle in here. So I think we are finally all done. It's amazing because I feel like this is fuller than before we began, but everything is a lot easier to see. And then this is a lot emptier. And this is what we're getting rid of. There's a couple that are still more probable maybes, but we shall see. And I've already given one away, the Sacred Bee Tarot. I think I showed you guys that one. So my best friend now has that one as her first tarot deck, so that's really cool. It's nice to be able to pass these things on. So I hope you found that interesting, somehow satisfying, seeing the piles get cleared out. Definitely gave you a bit of insight into my collection, which will start growing again but it's nice to rehome a few. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to join the tribe if you haven't already. We would love to have you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!